Let's get all the up-to-date business with talkSPORT's very own Mr. Alex Crook, who knows everything when it comes to managerial appointments. Good evening, Alex.
Good evening, you well?
Oh, very good. I'm missing you. I didn't have you with me for dinner tonight, Alex. There was some chicken waiting for you.
I'm sure it wasn't the same without me.
It wasn't, sir. Right, last night I see you on your phone. You was getting excited. Stuff's happening right now. What's going on at Norwich and with Dean Smith?
Yeah, it's been a fascinating 72 hours, hasn't it, at Carrow Road, because we were led to believe that Frank Lampard, at one stage towards the back end of last week, was Norwich's first choice to replace Daniel Farke. He distanced himself from that job late into the afternoon on Friday. Norwich immediately turned their attentions to Dean Smith, who this time last week was still the Aston Villa manager. That's how quickly things change in football. But it's my understanding this evening that Dean Smith has agreed a 2.5-year contract with the Canaries. That appointment could be rubber stamped and confirmed as early as tomorrow, and he will be in the dugout for Norwich's next game, a pretty crucial one as well, down at the bottom of the Premier League against Southampton next weekend.
Let's talk about Gerrard, obviously, at Gabby's former club, Aston Villa. What are people expecting there now, and how have all the fans reacted to Aston Villa? And is this a good appointment for Gerrard and for Villa?
Well, I'm keen to get Gabby's views on this, actually,
definitely.
because I think the reception has been quite mixed when it comes to Steven Gerrard. I think there's still a lot of people at Villa Park and the Aston Villa fans who maybe are still reeling from the fact that Dean Smith, a boyhood Aston Villa fan, someone who'd done so much for that football club, taking them into the Premier League, stabilising them there last season, was relieved of his duties in such a dramatic fashion. Yes, they're on a really bad run, 5 successive defeats, but I think the general feeling from outside Aston Villa was that maybe he should have had enough credit in the bank to be given the opportunity to turn that around. And I think a lot of Aston Villa fans feel the same. And when it comes to Steven Gerrard, yes, he's won the league in Scotland, but going to a club like Aston Villa, for me, and I'm sorry, Rangers fans, it's a massive step up. And what can he achieve at Aston Villa? What's the ceiling in the short term? This season, for example, is the top half of the table? Is that positive for Steven Gerrard? It's a long way from the European places. Or are they in a relegation battle? Because they're not that many points above the dotted line.
I think a lot of fans definitely were disappointed with Dean Smith being sacked. Felt maybe he deserved a bit more time for what he's done for the club. But you know what it's like in football. Things move on, don't they? You have to move on. And I think quite a lot of the percentage of Aston Villa fans are very happy with the appointment. You're going to get a few, aren't you, that want Pep Guardiola to leave Manchester City and come to Villa. The unrealistic fans that, they want a big name. But Steven Gerrard, for me, personally, is perfect. I mean, I've said this during the week. If I'm a player now at Aston Villa and I walk in on Monday morning and see Steven Gerrard in the meeting room, I'm in awe of him, for one, from his playing days. Iconic England, Liverpool midfielder. I just think he's going to get more out of these players now. You're going to work harder for Gerrard. He's not going to let Leon Bailey, not track back like he did against Southampton and get away with it. You know what? You come in and sit next to me. I think he's going to bring that discipline into the team, which Dean Smith, I think he's done a great job at Aston Villa, but I just can't picture Dean Smith being in the change room and screaming at someone for not doing the job. Steven Gerrard has been doing that all his career. So for me, I'm very happy with the appointment. I feel that this season, just try and get him into the top 10, top 12. Then he has a clean start from the first game of the season next season, and he has to he'll be expected to get the team into Europe, because that's what the owners want, the fans want. And he'll be giving money as well. He'll probably be able to get rid of a few players that he doesn't want, and he'll have money to spend. So I think it suits both Steven Gerrard and Aston Villa.
Alex, let's talk about Rangers quickly. The former player there, of course, Van Bronckhorst. Will Rangers appoint him? It looks like that's who they're going after.
Yeah, certainly that's where the arrows are pointing at this moment in time. But it's interesting. I was in Portugal this week on a short break during the international break. I was with a Rangers fan the night before that Steven Gerrard was confirmed as Aston Villa manager, and he was in complete denial. He said there's no way he's going to leave Rangers. We're a much bigger club than Aston Villa. So I did take great delight in texting him the picture of Gerrard being unveiled that
That's
very
painful,
next morning.
Crookie. That's not nice.
I know it's a bit harsh, but I'm that kind of character. But it's a big void to fill because they love Steven Gerrard at Rangers. They love the fact that he stopped that Celtic domination of the SPL. They love the fact he did so well in the European competitions as well. So I think it's a tack for anybody who comes in. But I think Van Bronckhorst, we know he held talks with Ross Wilson, the sporting director, early today. I think that would tick a lot of boxes. He's a former Rangers player, revered as a bit of a legend up in Glasgow. He's achieved quite a lot in his managerial career already. So I think this is this is a glamorous appointment.
They're in a good position, though, aren't they? Steven Gerrard's left it there. They're in a good position, aren't they? I feel that, like, there's talk about Lampard, there's talk about Van Bronckhorst, there's talk about, Russell Martin. I think these managers are going in there, if they get the job, with a good setup, aren't they? The players know what they're doing. Steven Gerrard's left the club in a good way.
Absolutely. I think you can't argue that he's left the club in a better position than when he arrived. But this is such a crucial season for whoever wins the Scottish title. At the moment, Rangers favourites to do that because of the UEFA coalition and the way the point system works. Whoever wins the SPL goes straight into the group stages of the Champions League next season. That hasn't happened for an awful long time in Scotland. It's interesting you mentioned Frank Lampard there, and I think the obvious assumption when he took himself out of the running to be the Norwich manager was that maybe Rangers have tapped him on the shoulder. I'm not sure about that because if you look back at his playing career, there was always the comparison with Steven Gerrard. The two were linked. Could they play together in that England team? Who was the better midfielder? I'm not sure.
He doesn't want to follow in Gerrard's footsteps, does he? No way.
Exactly. I'm not sure he wants to step into those shoes, but I am interested.
I feel like that's why he's not took the Norwich job as well. I feel like Lampard, he's not going to just rush into a job for the sake of it. Do you know? I think he's going to wait for the right project, isn't it, that suits him.
Yeah, but how long can you wait for? Because I think he did hold talks with Crystal Palace. I know he was keen on the Newcastle job. His name was mentioned loosely with Aston Villa. That didn't happen. Where does Frank Lampard go back in? Because we mentioned this last night, didn't we? I'm just not sure where he sits in the food chain at this moment in time. For example, if Jurgen Klopp was to leave Liverpool at the end of the season, would Frank Lampard be in the running for that job?
No way.
I'm not convinced.
No way.
If Ole Gunnar Solskjaer leaves Manchester United, and I think that's imminent, by the way, would he be in the running for that job? I'm not convinced. He wasn't in the running for Newcastle, wasn't in the running for Aston Villa, has pulled himself out of the running for Norwich. Where does he go next? I think he might well see out this season now and then take a job possibly even at the top end of the Championship next summer.
Yeah. Crookie, just quickly, you mentioned, Ollie, this managerial merry-go-round that we're intrigued by at the moment. It's gone round and round. Lots of people have come off, people have gone on, and Ollie's still there. What seatbelt is this man wearing? Because he is safe. Do you not say? Do you think it's imminent that he's gone?
Yeah, I wouldn't say he's safe. I think he's got more lives than a cat, to be honest. I mean, that win against Tottenham not only kept him in a job, but it also ensured that Antonio Conte, probably the most suitable candidate to replace him at Old Trafford, suddenly had an open opportunity at Tottenham. But I heard some really alarming things about Manchester United last night, about Ronaldo, and he is shocked, from what I'm told, at the way that standards have dropped at the club in terms of what happens on the training ground from when he was there under Sir Alex Ferguson to returning under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. There's a lack of attitude in training. Maybe one or two players who think it's okay to turn up late as well. And I think once Ronaldo starts voicing that opinion to the powers that be, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is on a very sticky wicket. Their next game, Manchester United, is away from home against Watford next weekend. I'll be there alongside Adrian Durham for talkSPORT. Then they've got Villarreal away from home in a massive Champions League game. If performances don't improve in those two matches, I think his position almost becomes untenable.
Alex,
but I have to say, that's not the first time I've said that.
You'll get to the stage where it's embarrassing, won't it? You know, you look at the likes of Dean Smith sacked, Farker sacked. You look at Nuno Santos sacked, and the position that Spurs are in when you got sacked. If Manchester United just keep on saying no, he's staying, they become a laughing stock, don't they?
Yeah, I agree, and I think they've already become a laughing stock, to be honest. That 5-0 defeat at home to Liverpool, the limp nature of the 2-0 reverse at home to Manchester City, and I do wonder if Ed Woodward was there for the long haul. We know this is his last season. Does he want his last act to be sacking a club legend in Ole Gunnar Solskjaer? I'm not convinced. I think that's playing a big part in the fact Ole is still in a job at this moment in time.